Have you ever stopped to think that your childhood may have been marked by invisible presences, delicate signs that you might not have understood at the time, but that were pointing to a greater purpose? It was no accident that you felt different, misunderstood, or even out of place. These experiences were not mere coincidences. They were invisible marks left by a special call, a message that you have always been part of something much bigger. Today, let's explore how these seemingly common moments can be proof that God, in His wisdom, was already shaping your spiritual mission from the beginning. Stay with me, because the revelation I'm going to share is transformative and can bring immediate understanding about what you always felt deep in your heart. You are not alone, and there is a deep connection between your childhood and the divine purpose for your life. If you've made it this far, know that this is not a coincidence. This message was made for you. So pause for a moment and think, since you were a child, have you always had the feeling that you were different? As if you didn't quite fit into the world around you? Perhaps you noticed that while other children played or lived their lives without much concern, you already reflected on deeper issues, questioned the meaning of things, or had dreams that seemed bigger than you could explain. And then over time, this difference started to become a burden, or maybe even a reason for doubt. Why am I like this? Why do things feel so intense for me? But I want you to know, there is nothing wrong with you. On the contrary, this difference is a mark of being chosen. From an early age, life began to prepare you for something much greater. Each experience, each challenge you faced was a sign that God, or the universe if you prefer, was shaping you to fulfill a unique purpose. You may have felt loneliness, rejection, or even incomprehension from those around you. But know this, the chosen ones always go through periods of trial. This is not because you were less, but because you were born to be more. Stay with me until the end of this video, because these 11 signs that I will share will confirm what you already feel deep in your heart. You were chosen. Many of the chosen ones have shown unmistakable signs of their spiritual mission since childhood. These signs, often ignored or misunderstood, are direct reflections of a profound divine connection that transcends the ordinary. In this video, we will uncover the 11 main signs that prove that you were chosen. For each sign, we will provide a practical explanation, its connection with spirituality, and a guide that you can use to strengthen this characteristic in your life today. Get ready, because what will be revealed here can transform your vision of your past and your purpose. Since childhood, you were easily moved, deeply felt the pains of others, or noticed nuances that no one else did. This sensitivity was not weakness, but a spiritual antenna capturing energies around you. God placed this characteristic in you as a reminder that your mission is linked to empathy and caring for others. To apply it today, practice moments of silence and prayer, connecting with your intuition. Use your sensitivity as a compass to better understand the people around you. You spend hours looking at the stars, imagining what existed beyond them, or felt an inexplicable connection with the infinite. This fascination is a sign that your soul has always sought something greater, something divine. From a young age, your curiosity was a reflection of your spiritual connection. Today, you can nurture this search by cultivating the habit of meditation or spiritual study. Seek answers to your deep questions, for they are part of your path. You felt different from other children and, because of this, preferred to spend time alone. This isolation was not just shyness, but a necessary moment of spiritual recharge. God often separates those He has chosen for great purposes. To strengthen this in your life today, recognize the value of moments of solitude. Use them to pray, reflect, and align yourself with your mission. You had such a powerful imagination that you created entire worlds in your mind. This sign is a manifestation of divine creativity within you, allowing you to visualize solutions and perspectives that others cannot. This ability is vital for your mission, as God uses your imagination to open doors where others see only walls. Today, channel your creativity into projects that reflect your spiritual essence, whether in art, writing, or new ventures. From an early age, you felt compassion for the needy, for animals, or for the injustice in the world. This concern was the call of the Spirit for your mission as an agent of healing and justice. God planted in you a heart that cannot see suffering without acting. Today, use this to engage in causes that reflect your spiritual values. Every small gesture can change the world. You didn't accept simple answers. You always asked why and sought to understand the deeper meaning of things. This curiosity is a divine gift that empowers you to seek the truth beyond appearances. To apply it today, continue questioning, but do so with spiritual discernment. Study the scriptures, philosophies, and concepts that resonate with your journey as the chosen one. Even surrounded by friends or family, you felt that you did not belong to that world. This feeling of displacement is common among the chosen ones, as your soul always knew that it came here for something greater. Today, accept this feeling as a call to lead, not to isolate yourself. Connect with people who share spiritual values and strengthen your path. You knew things without anyone needing to tell you, or had premonitions that came true. This was not a coincidence, but a way for God to train you to use intuition as a tool in your mission. To strengthen this ability today, practice listening to your intuition in silence, in moments of prayer or meditation. It will be a powerful ally. Even as a child, you noticed patterns, symbols, or signs that seemed to speak to you. These signs were divine messages pointing to your journey. They are still present in your life, and to perceive them, you just need to be attentive. Write down recurring dreams, numbers, or unexpected events and pray for clarity on what they mean. You always had a deep desire to change the world, even if you didn't know where to start. This was God blowing into your soul the mission for which you were created. Today, put this desire into practice with small daily actions that reflect the values of the kingdom. Do not underestimate the impact you can have on the lives of those around you. These 11 signs are not just characteristics of your childhood, but marks left by God to guide you to your mission. Recognizing each one of them is the first step to fulfilling the purpose for which you were created. Reflect on which of these signs you recognize in yourself, and use the practical tools and guides from this video to follow your journey as a true chosen one. God leaves no doubts. You were set apart for something much greater. Have you ever stopped to think about why you seem to feel things that no one else noticed? During your childhood, you may have realized that you could pick up on emotions in the environment, even when the people around you said nothing. It was as if you had an emotional radar, feeling the suffering of others so intensely that it often overwhelmed you. Perhaps you found yourself crying for no apparent reason, but in fact, that was a response to the pain you absorbed, even without understanding where it came from. This sensitivity, which once seemed like a burden, was a clear sign that you were prepared for something greater. God was already shaping you from an early age, showing that you had a different heart, connected to a spiritual dimension that many do not understand. This extraordinary sensitivity was not a coincidence or an isolated characteristic. It was part of a divine plan to develop in you the empathy that is now a powerful tool. From an early age, you were called to perceive and feel the pain of others, even if, at the time, it seemed confusing or even unfair. God was teaching you to look beyond what is visible, to connect deeply with the spirit of people. The purpose of this spiritual connection was not to overwhelm you, but to prepare you for a grand mission, to be a channel of healing and love. Understand that your sensitivity is a bridge between you and the world, a preparation for you to be used as an instrument to touch the lives of those in need as you grow. If to this day you struggle to balance this sensitivity, know that it was never intended to weaken you, but to empower you. Recognize that feeling deeply is not a weakness, but a gift. When you learn to use this sensitivity as a tool, it becomes a transformative force. Empathy is the foundation for helping others, and also for finding your emotional balance. So allow yourself to embrace who you are, and use this characteristic to connect, heal, and guide those who cross your path. Remember, the chosen ones do not carry ordinary gifts. Your sensitivity is a divine gift, and when you learn to use it wisely, it becomes one of the most powerful weapons to fulfill the purpose that God has for your life. Have you ever had those dreams so intense that, upon waking up, it felt like you had lived a second reality? As if every detail was more than just a simple product of your imagination? Since childhood, the chosen ones frequently experience dreams that go beyond the ordinary. These dreams are not just stories that the mind creates while we rest. They often carry profound and revealing messages, as if they were direct whispers from the universe or from God. It is as if your soul were connected to something greater, receiving instructions, warnings, or even glimpses of your mission in this world. And even if you did not understand it at the time, these dreams were part of the spiritual training that began to shape who you are today. In the Bible and many spiritual traditions, dreams have always been used by God to communicate something important. Joseph in Egypt received powerful visions while he slept, and these visions guided him in crucial moments of his life. Similarly, when you were a child, your revealing dreams were no coincidence. They were preparing your spirit for something greater. Perhaps you dreamed of situations that later came true, or you received answers to questions you had not yet asked. These moments reflect your special connection with the divine, a sign that you were always being guided, even without realizing it. God knew you were special and began planting seeds of wisdom and discernment in your heart from an early age. Today, as a chosen one, it is essential to value this spiritual tool that continues to be part of your journey. Keeping a dream journal is a powerful step. Write down what you remember, even if they seem like disconnected fragments. Over time, patterns and messages will begin to emerge. Then meditate on what they might be trying to communicate. Maybe God is showing you the next step in your journey, or warning you about something you need to avoid. The important thing is to never underestimate the power of these dreams. They are doors to a spiritual dimension where you can find answers and strength to continue living the purpose you were called to. Since childhood, you had the feeling of not fitting in. Perhaps, when looking at the people around you, you wondered, why am I so different? Why don't I see the world the same way others do? This feeling of being from another world, of not belonging to the environment you were born into, is something that many chosen ones experience. While others seem to find it easy to follow societal norms and expectations, you felt like you were called to something greater, something beyond common understanding. This discomfort may have caused sadness or confusion in childhood, but in reality, it is a clear sign that your soul carries a special mission, a unique purpose that sets you apart. This feeling of displacement is not a mistake or coincidence. It is an indication that you were set apart to tread a path that few can understand. God and the universe shaped you uniquely, with abilities, perceptions, and sensitivities that make you capable of seeing beyond the obvious. This may have caused strangeness in your childhood, but it is a sign that you were chosen to transform, lead, and be a light in the darkness. While others sought to adapt, you were called to stand out and create something that did not exist before. Your path may seem lonely, but it is precisely this uniqueness that connects you to your spiritual mission. The key to overcoming the feeling of not belonging is to embrace your uniqueness as an essential part of your purpose. Instead of fighting against what makes you different, accept that these characteristics are tools that enable you to fulfill the mission entrusted to you. Recognize that your vision, experiences, and even the challenges you faced are important pieces of a larger puzzle. The more you accept who you are, the closer you get to your true self, and the more prepared you are to manifest the divine purpose in your life. Each time you value your difference, a step is taken towards your spiritual awakening. From a young age, you felt an almost magnetic attraction to the night sky. While other children were distracted by toys or everyday play, you looked at the stars as if they held answers that no one else could understand. This fascination was more than curiosity. It was a feeling of belonging, as if something inside you knew that the sky was much more than a backdrop for life. Perhaps you found yourself imagining what lay beyond the clouds, or feeling a deep peace when observing the stars glow. It wasn't just beauty. It was as if they were talking to you, showing that there was a greater purpose in your existence, even if you didn't yet know what it was. This connection was not only with the physical sky, but with the immensity of the divine plan. God, the universe, or the creative force was using this fascination to awaken a natural spiritual openness in you. You were able to feel, even unconsciously, that the vastness of the universe reflected the infinity of the divine purpose that existed within you. This connection is a typical trait of the chosen ones, who have a greater sensitivity to perceive God's messages in creation. The sky was your refuge, a constant reminder that something grand awaited you, and that your connection to this whole was an essential part of your mission. If you still feel this fascination for the sky and the universe, know that this is not by chance. Take moments to contemplate creation, whether by observing the stars or simply feeling the breeze under an open sky. This practice is more than an act of admiration. It is a powerful spiritual tool. By dedicating these moments to connecting with the universe, you strengthen your spiritual sensitivity and align yourself with the divine plan that has always been within you. This will help you find clarity, purpose, and a renewed sense of belonging to God's greater work. Looking at the sky is, in fact, a reminder that you are connected to something infinitely greater. Have you ever stopped to think about how, since you were little, you seemed to know things no one taught you? Maybe it was that inexplicable feeling that something was going to happen, or even the ability to understand what someone was feeling without them saying a word. This is one of the most powerful signs that you were chosen. This sharp intuition is not just a coincidence, it is a special gift. Many tried to convince you that it was all in your head, but in reality, this sensitivity was placed within you as a direct channel to something greater. Intuition is a divine gift, an invisible compass that guides those who have a special purpose. Since your childhood, God has planted within you this ability to feel what eyes do not see and ears do not hear. This intuition is not just a gift, but a direct connection with Him. It is like a spiritual antenna that allows you to pick up signals and guidance in ways that others cannot. This did not happen by chance. It is a tool to fulfill your mission. Sometimes you may have ignored this inner voice or doubted it, but know this: it has never left you and has always been there to guide you. When you pay attention to this divine compass, it is as if you are aligned with the path that was planned for you from the beginning. To strengthen this gift, it is essential to learn to listen. The modern world is noisy and full of distractions, but your intuition needs moments of silence to be heard. Try dedicating a time of your day to be at peace, without judgment or haste. Allow yourself to feel and trust the answers that come from within. The more you practice, the stronger this connection will be. Often, the world tries to make you believe that logic is the only answer, but the chosen ones know that true wisdom does not always come from reason, but from that inner voice that God placed within us. So trust. Even when it seems irrational, know that this intuition is the tool that can lead you to where you belong. Since you were young, you had something that many around you did not understand: a natural friendship with solitude. While other children tirelessly sought company to play with, you seemed to feel at peace when you were alone. Perhaps, on some occasions, you even intentionally sought to stay away from noise and crowds, preferring the tranquility of your own thoughts. This did not mean that you were antisocial or unable to make friends, but there was something different in the way you dealt with your own company. From an early age, God was preparing you for something grand. The isolation you experienced was not a void, but a divine opportunity for connection with something greater. In the journey of a chosen one, solitude has a powerful purpose. God often separates those who have a special calling to mold and prepare them. When you were a child and sought those moments of solitude, you might not have understood why, but you were being spiritually trained. It is in silence that God speaks the loudest, refining character and strengthening the spirit. This solitude was not a punishment or a sign of rejection, but an opportunity for you to meet the divine and begin to understand that your purpose has always been linked to something much greater than human comprehension could grasp in childhood. Today, as an adult chosen one, it is essential that you consciously take advantage of moments of solitude. What once seemed like just a childhood trait now reveals itself as a powerful tool for your spiritual development. Meditating during these moments and seeking to hear God's voice can be transformative. When you silence the outer world, you allow the divine to speak directly to your heart. It is in these moments that you will find answers, direction, and the strength needed to face the challenges that arise on your path. So, whenever you are alone, remember, it is not abandonment. It is an opportunity for spiritual alignment with the purpose that God has planned for you. Since childhood, you had a curiosity that seemed endless. While other children accepted things as they were, you were the one who always asked, why? Nothing seemed enough to quench your thirst for knowledge and answers. You were not content with superficial explanations and often made adults uncomfortable with your questions that went beyond the obvious. This curiosity was not just about the physical world around you, but also about deeper issues, such as the meaning of life, the purpose of people, and even the workings of the universe. If you identify with this, know that this restlessness is a clear sign that your mind was designed for something greater, to seek truths that most do not even consider. This infinite curiosity was not just a personality trait, it was an indication of your spiritual preparation. Those who are chosen usually have minds that need to go beyond appearances to discover deeper realities. This relentless quest for why was, in fact, divine training. God was shaping you from an early age to receive higher truths that can only be understood by those with an open and questioning mind. This trait made you sensitive to spiritual connections that went unnoticed by many. While others were distracted, you were already being prepared to perceive signs, understand messages, and seek answers that connected you to the greater purpose of your existence. Now, as an adult, it is crucial that you keep alive this curiosity that has accompanied you since childhood. It is a powerful tool for your spiritual growth and for fulfilling your purpose as a chosen one. By continuing to seek answers, you come closer and closer to your mission and expand your understanding of what God has in store for you. The secret lies in never losing this thirst for learning and growing, even in the face of obstacles or answers that seem difficult to reach. Use curiosity as an engine that drives you to overcome barriers and discover what is hidden beneath the surface. After all, it was this curiosity that prepared you to be who you are today, a person destined for great revelations and spiritual connections. Since childhood, you may have felt that you did not fit into the groups around you. Maybe you were the child who preferred to observe in silence while others played, or the one whose ideas always seemed uncommon. This feeling of being misunderstood often leads to rejection. Do you remember being excluded from games, not being chosen for teams, or hearing comments that made you question why you were so different? This was no coincidence. The rejection you faced was not a reflection of your worth, but a sign that there was something in you that others could not understand or accept. It is as if the world knew, even unconsciously, that you had something special that did not fit into common patterns. Rejection is painful, but for the chosen ones, it is part of a greater plan. God allows you to face these experiences because they shape your character, strengthen your resilience, and above all, separate you from influences that could divert you from your purpose. The Bible is full of examples of chosen people who faced rejection. Joseph was betrayed by his own brothers. David was ignored even by his own father. But each of these rejections was an essential step for them to achieve the purpose that God had planned for their lives. When you understand that these rejections were actually divine redirections, it becomes easier to accept that not being accepted by everyone is a blessing. Now that you know rejection is part of God's plan, how do you handle it? The key is to change your perspective. Instead of seeing it as something negative, start seeing it as a way God protects you. The people who rejected you were being diverted from your life because they were not meant to walk alongside you. Imagine if Joseph had stayed with his envious brothers instead of following the path God prepared for him. The same goes for you. Don't cling to what didn't work out, but focus on what is to come. When you accept that each rejection is an act of divine protection, you transform pain into learning and move forward stronger toward your destiny. God is by your side, and each rejection is just a reminder that you are being prepared for something grand. From a young age, you felt something special when you were in nature. It wasn't just superficial admiration. There was a deep connection that seemed to touch your soul. While other children might have fun at amusement parks or with electronic toys, you felt truly at peace walking through forests, listening to the sound of a stream, or admiring the mountains in the distance. This connection with nature was not by chance. Natural creation is an extension of the divine, a way for God to remind us of His presence and grandeur. If you felt more alive and energized in these environments, it is because your soul recognized the sanctity present there, and this sensitivity is one of the most evident signs of a chosen one. The Bible teaches us that nature declares the glory of God, and that His essence can be seen in everything created. As a chosen one, you have a unique sensitivity to perceive this truth. Every tree, every river, every mountain carries the divine signature. This love for nature is, in fact, a reflection of your spirit aligned with the Creator. When you felt that relief when breathing fresh air, or that peace when hearing the sound of the wind among the trees, it was God's presence touching your heart. Many ignore these signs and stay busy with the distractions of the world, but you, even at a young age, already recognized that something greater was being revealed in those moments of silence and contemplation. If you feel you have lost this connection over the years, it is time to regain it. Nature is a living sanctuary, a place where you can reconnect with your essence and recharge your spiritual energies. Take a moment of your day to walk barefoot on the earth, feel the warmth of the sun on your face, or listen to the sound of the rain. These moments not only renew the body but also the soul. As a chosen one, being in tune with God's creation is essential to strengthen your purpose. Whenever you feel exhausted or lost, turn to nature. It is a divine gift, a powerful tool to align yourself with the greater plan that God has prepared for you. 45. Since childhood, you felt that something was not right in the world around you. When you saw injustices, even without fully understanding what they meant, you felt a deep unease. You couldn't stand seeing someone being mistreated, excluded, or suffering for no reason. This strong sense of justice, which seemed much more intense than in other children, was not by chance. It was placed within you as a divine spark, a compass that always pointed to what is right. While other children might ignore or accept things as they were, you questioned, wanting to know why things couldn't be better. This is not just a trait of your personality, but a clear sign that you were chosen to be different, to bring about change. 46. This desire to change the world did not arise by chance. It was God who planted in you this will to be a light in the darkness. He knew that, to accomplish His plans, He would need people who would not conform to what is wrong, but who had the courage to fight for what is right. From an early age, he placed a mission in your heart, even if you did not yet know it. This sense of justice is more than a characteristic. It is a confirmation that you were chosen to reflect divine goodness and love in a world that often lacks these qualities. You were created to be an agent of transformation, someone who inspires and elevates others with actions and words. 47. You may think that changing the world is too big a task, but know this: the greatest changes start with the smallest actions. It is not necessary to start something grandiose immediately. If you are kind to someone in need, support those in difficulty, or simply act with love and honesty, you are already fulfilling the purpose God has placed in your life. Use your desire for justice as a powerful tool to transform your reality and those around you. Every act of kindness, every word of encouragement, and every just decision is like a seed you plant. And when you least expect it, these small seeds will take deep roots and bloom into something much greater. God is with you every step of this path. 48. From a very young age, you may have felt something inexplicable, as if an inner voice was always whispering advice or guidance. This voice was not the fruit of your imagination. It was a clear feeling that there was a greater force guiding your steps, even when you did not yet understand what it meant. Perhaps you felt an impulse at critical moments, an intuition that seemed to keep you from danger or lead you to unexpected but correct decisions. This voice did not shout, but it was a constant, firm, and serene presence, like a spiritual compass pointing the right way. For many chosen ones, this experience is one of the first signs that there is something extraordinary about them, something that goes far beyond what the eyes can see. 49. This inner voice is more than a simple instinct or intuition. It is the manifestation of the divine presence in your life. It represents the direct link between you and the Creator, a spiritual communication channel that only the chosen ones can hear with such clarity. In moments of doubt or difficulty, this voice arises as a reminder that you are not alone and that there is a greater purpose guiding your journey. You may have already asked yourself, why do I feel this? Why does it seem like someone takes care of me in such a special way? The answer is simple. God has always had a plan for you. This connection is a privilege, but also a responsibility, as the divine voice is not just there to comfort you, but to guide you in fulfilling the mission entrusted to you. 50. To strengthen this connection and hear this voice more clearly, it is essential to dedicate time to prayer or meditation. In a world full of noise and distractions, moments of intentional silence are crucial for you to distinguish the divine voice from your own emotions or concerns. Choose a quiet space, close your eyes, and allow yourself to disconnect from the pressures of everyday life. Whether in sincere prayer, where you talk to God, or in meditation, where you just silence and listen, these moments are like a refinement of your spiritual antenna. It is in this sacred space that you will realize that this voice is not just a guide, but also a source of strength, wisdom, and peace. The more you practice, the more you will recognize this divine presence in all areas of your life, and the easier it will be to follow the path that was destined for you as a chosen one.